Hello and welcome to Rauta's coffee-infused opinion videos. Now, this is a topic I have been wanting to touch for quite a long time, but always, trying to feel the right time to talk about it. And the more I read about it, money. The more I want to talk about it. It's the biggest devil in the music business. It's definitely the biggest devil in the metal music. Why so, you might ask? Well, let's just think about it. First, before we got to talk about metal, let's just take a look at the big picture. Now, obviously, there are millions of genres, but only a handful of big genres. Basically, we could say pop music, we could say rock music, including metal. We could say classical music, we could say hip-hop, that is also rap in some languages, and so forth. There are not too many types of music. And pretty much all of the music genres are pretty much okay with money. I mean, everybody has to pay their bills, right? Whether you want to buy a new instrument, guitar, keyboards, drums, etc., you need some money, right? Basic thing. Recording devices, distortion pedals, basically everything costs. Even your costumes you wear on stage cost. Traveling, don't doubt. Logistics, food, catering, hotels, traveling, everything costs. Doesn't matter if you do your music your home only or you do big shows and all that stuff. So why talk about money and metal together? Because they are probably the two things that hate each mother as much as possible. I truly don't know where it all started, but if we take a look at classic heavy metal, the big artists, they don't seem to complain about money. Nobody, it seems, have problems when you're talking about, say, Black Sabbath or Motorhead getting big, Iron Maiden doing its own plane trips, or Metallica and stuff like that. We know how it goes. You need merchandise. We want that merchandise. And, well, big shows, they cost money and we're willing to spend it. So once again, what's the problem, Jerry? You're talking about this nonsense. Get to the motherfucking point. Alright, fellowheads. I need some coffee first. Now, why the money is actually problematic and often the subject of the topic, the subject and the topic, that is, when people are complaining like, hey, this is ruining it all becomes so commercial and all that stuff. You pretty much know the story here. This band is way too commercial. I don't like it anymore. They're sellouts.
I don't like how these bands have at least 5 different shirt types.
This band has way too many types of CDs and LPs and tapes. Bring back the homemade recordings. Bring back the mixtapes. I don't want to pay for my money.
I only use YouTube for listening. I prefer Spotify. I am an Apple Music listener.
I go for Deezer.
Hey, I'm a Tidal user.
Yes, we get it all. You don't want to spend any of your precious money in order to get music done. Okay, that's fine. You're probably poor. You probably don't respect or value music. You just want to get it for free, right? Because it's your human right. Not exactly, but that's how some people think about it. Now, where it gets more complicated, so to say, is that, well, there's this artist X. He wants to buy a bunch of new guitar strings. Why? Because the old ones are too weary and teary and, well, you just need to get new guitar strings every now and then. Or maybe a couple of drumsticks. Maybe even a new set of drums. Maybe a new recording device because you want to improve your home studio recording equipment or whatever. Or maybe you just want to go to a next studio. But people are not giving you money because they don't want to make you a sellout, right? So you're in between the hard place and rock and the hard place, that is. You don't want to get commercialized because, well, then you would be this sellout, according to some people anyway. But you really can't get that new stuff for free because, I mean, it's equipment and every piece of equipment usually costs some money. Also, you kind of feel like you want to push a new t-shirt design out there to please your fans or because it's cool. Maybe you do your graphics by yourself for your own band. You're reading all the lyrics. You want to put some of the text on the back of the shirt. You want to feel that those fans can actually wear proudly the t-shirt of your band so that they can, be like, hey, I support this band. And no, intentionally, I'm not wearing a band shirt right now. Or actually not that intentionally, but anyway, the point is right there. I'm wearing it now at the moment, sports merchandise, and I have no shame one bit. For me, it's all the same. I'm a fan. I'm the one that, waves the flag. I want to show my colors. Respect to the bands I like, or in this case, a sports team. Doesn't matter. I'm willing to pay some bucks, bucks, not bugs, in order to, make the band going. Show my respect. Blah, 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 Same thing why I do reviews, why I praise some bands, because I like them. I want to support them. Now the trick here is, especially when we're talking about more underground metal bands, there seems to be this kind of a troll. And this troll is the commercialism. Now, bands are afraid of it. They don't want to go near the troll because they would be labeled. They would be getting stained by the very troll. Because the troll is, waving back and forth all the shit and piss. And nobody wants to get that shit and piss and blood or sweat on them. Because they would be labeled for life. Now, once you cross the line of commercialism, there's no going back, right? Once you lose certain kind of a credibility or reputation, it's all gone for good. No going back. So some band try to make it so hard, like it's like a die-hard mentality that they're fighting like, we're not, one of those poser bands. We're not one of those commercialized bands. We want to just keep the underground flame moving, blah, blah, blah. But let's be honest about it. If you want to make a record done, it always costs money. How do I know? Because I play in a band. Now, my band is kind of lucky, and I could say lucky in the sense, first of all, we don't tour. We don't need any kind of a budget for garments, for going on stage. We don't need expensive studio. We record at our own studio, which is technically a kind of a garage of my bandmate. We don't spend much money to get that stuff. Obviously, my bandmate every now and then wants to have a piece of new equipment, but we don't have big expenses. We're just, okay, whatever, man. We can do with the stuff at what we have. And I know it's true for many, many underground bands, but the bigger you grow and the more you tour, the more money will be involved. And now there's a thing called labels, both good and bad. Labels are the ones that actually make things happen. Sometimes on behalf of the band by, for example, paying the studio, which usually the band has to pay back with sales and all that stuff. But that's a different topic. But the thing here is, label is there to kind of finance things every now and then. Or push some buttons, but not for free. So the tours may take place, albums may happen, they get released, they get distributed and all that stuff. And now every phase of these things cost money. It doesn't matter if you don't take any kind of a pay for your work. Probably most artists, especially in the underground metal, they don't count hours like, okay, I spent 5 hours working with these lyrics, and because my hourly pay is some $20, this means like $100. They don't do that. Guitar players rarely are like, okay, I'm doing these riffs, okay. I spent 10 hours creating these 5 songs. That would be, isn't that much. So the thing here is, people are not even taking pay for their time to create the art. Yet so many people are ready to spit these people in the face like, so you dare to print another shirt? Because, your first one isn't even sold out. Are you commercializing yourself? Are you sacrificing your own band to the altar of money? And I hate my guts, I hate this stuff. It gets me really pissed when people are talking nonsense. First of all, lots of people just, listen to music, unlicensed music even, on YouTube. They don't even pay anything to these bands. Yet they have the nerve to call bands commercialized. Where bands are trying to, avoid being kind of a stupid and not sacrificing too much so they won't be getting this stain. And yet people are doing all kind of disrespectful stuff. and it gets on my nerves. So why the money is exactly the devil, I truly don't know. It's more like people are like forgetting, like there is no free lunch. Wherever you travel, whatever you do, whatever kind of a piece of equipment you're gonna get, it all costs. And the money needs to move from one place to another in order to things happen. So I don't know what is going on and why people are so goddamn dumb. I mean, back when we were younger, it was also easy to just think that things happen automatically. But then again, you're living at your parents' house, eating the food they bring to you, and it's so easy to say, yeah, these bands are sellout because, I mean, they actually dare to ask some payment for their gig. Why don't they just drive to the place, to the venue, with their own car, and, you know, just we pay the gas and give them a couple of beers, it should be all cool. I mean, underground mentality, right? Now the thing is, first of all, somebody needs to have that car. Even if it's your parents, you still need to kind of fix it. Or maybe you're going to need to do more stuff than just pay the gas. And at some point the bands get tired of that. Playing in the small bars just for the sake of like, hey, you got your traveling expenses covered. What do you complain? But these guys actually take some time off work in order to make these tours. So even if they're not, taking a big amount of money in terms of, getting the job done, doing the gigs and all that stuff, they're actually losing money. They need to sacrifice something in order to be there in the first place. And like I said, every step from the minute you start writing your music, be it lyrics, creating the cover art, anything is gonna cost some money, unless you're not just decided to call not really easy at all. But it gets on my nerves, and that's why I have come to the conclusion, really, that money is indeed, that is the Satan, the devil in the music business, and people just can't seem to understand it. So, all rant over. What is your opinion? Money, no money? Music or no music? Feel free to comment, drop some questions, vouch for some bands which you like, and drop a line here. Take care. Bye bye.